Cavante Turpin, excuse me, picks the
Mhm.
ball up and goes 99 yards
And
for a
that was sweet.
touchdown. Oh, that's the ball game. Nah, the commander says not so fast. Jaden Daniels says, I believe I have one more miracle
Mhm.
in me, and it might not be a Hail Mary, but I got a
Yeah.
pass for you. He finds
Terry McLaurin.
Terry
Yep.
McLaurin, 86-yard touchdown. Ocho, we go into overtime. The kicker
Right.
comes on, the snapper. Because here's the thing, Ocho. People think it's just the pressure
Oh
on the
no.
kicker.
On
There's
the
a pressure
snapper
on the
too, to get the
snapper
ball down.
and the holder.
Yeah.
And you see, it kind of threw his
Mhm.
timing off because the ball was a little low, and the holder, he bobbled it a
Mhm.
little bit, and it wasn't even
Yeah.
close. It reminded me, and I remember thinking, Ocho, I was thinking to myself, you remember when the Saints, they lateraled the ball all the way down the field against Jacksonville, got the
Mhm.
touchdown, and then missed the
Yeah.
PAT that would have tied
Yeah.
the game. Boy, that's a heartbreaking
Mhm.
way
To lose a
to
game.
lose a
Yeah.
game. You done all of that 86 yard. The crowd is in a
Mhm.
frenzy. Your sideline is in a frenzy, and then it's just so anticlimactic that you shank the
Yeah.
PAT. Now you come back in, Ocho. We go onside it. Dallas scoops the onside up and goes
I
in for a
holler at you.
touchdown.
I think you know what?
But
How do I
go
say
ahead.
this? The snapper, the holder, and the kicker, they go through the same routine constantly all week,
Mm-hmm.
all week. If it's repetition, 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 repetition,
Yes.
and especially when it comes to a game like this, where the game is on the line and it's on your hands and it's on your foot, you got one job.
Yep.
You got one job. The game of football is a game of inches. There are very few plays, even out of 75, maybe one, two, maybe three plays at best that makes a difference in the game. And when that opportunity comes, you have to take advantage of those opportunities. And tonight, they missed the opportunity to give themselves a chance to win a game against a Cowboys team that has been playing bad.
You could have buried them.
Huh?
You win this game. If Washington wins this game, they buried the Cowboys. Their
It's
season is
over.
over. Ain't no
Right.
coming back. You're 3-8. You got 6 games
Mhm.
to go. I believe your season is over. Because the Cowboys, they still got to go to Philly. I don't believe they're
No,
beating Philly
come
in
on now.
Philly.
No.
So you could have ended the Cowboys season. Now, yeah, but Jaden Daniels, prior to that last match, he wasn't playing well. He wasn't seeing the field particularly well,
Mhm.
Ocho. But I want to give the Cowboys D line some credit. They got after him. For Diggy
Mhm.
Zua,
Micah, he had two
Micah,
sacks. Yeah.
they got after the defense was flying around. The Rico Dodell, they had a rushing game. Look, it wasn't great. It
Yeah.
wasn't great, but 19 carries, 86 yards. Caught the ball extremely well. And think it, this was a makeshift line. Your right guard is
Mhm.
out. Your left guard is out. They moved Guyton, which was a great thing because all he does is hold, get penalties. And even when they brought his ass
Right.
in, guess what he did, Ocho? Got two
Yeah, right,
penalties.
right.
And looking around like what? Ocho, you know what I hate? I wish I owned the video board. Soon as they throw a flag, I know they're gonna look, I'm gonna cut the video board off. What you looking up there for? You know what the hell you did. You held a man. That's why they threw a flag on
Yeah.
your ass. They be looking up there talking about, uh-huh,
Yeah, it was you. It
you
was
did
you.
it. Yeah.
It was you.
I'm like, damn, son. And he's talking about he don't know what. That ain't no whole. Yes, it is. But give the Cowboys credit, Ocho. Like I said, Cooper Rush did a great job, 24-32,
Hmm.
247, two
Yeah.
touchdowns. They ran the ball well enough to keep the Washington off balance where they just couldn't pin the
Right.
ears back. CD had 10 for 67. Schoonmaker, I think that's his name. They just have 3 for 55, caught a 24-yard touchdown. But they had some guys that make some big time plays today, and that's what you need to
Hmm.
happen to go on the road and get that nasty taste out of your
Yeah.
mouth. But those guys, hey, they got after the quarterback. They hunted the quarterback today, and they did a great
I
job of
mean,
that. They did a great job.
yeah, I'm
Go ahead.
gonna say when you look at the Cowboys the last 4 weeks and you look at the Cowboys tonight, especially from a defensive standpoint, why in the hell they look like they did today against a division opponent as opposed to not looking like that against everybody else they've been playing?
Tell me
I,
so
I'm,
we both know.
I'm just curious. I'm sitting there, I'm watching the game at the cigar bar earlier, and I'm saying to myself, well, God damn, they sure is playing well. You know, they playing well offensively. I'm talking about all three phases of the game, whether it be defense, whether it be
Yeah.
offense. Hell, they was playing motherfucking good on goddamn special teams. But you look like
Well, I think
against everybody else.
they did, especially at home, because they've been down by 20 points or more in the last, what, 5, 6
Yeah.
home games. And a lot of those home games, the games haven't been close. The only game that was close this year is that they came back and they were down by 20
Right.
against Baltimore. All the other games that they've lost have been two-score
Hmm.
games. But the kicker, he missed a couple a day, and he's a very
Yeah.
reliable kicker. He has leg out of this world. Um, but other than that, I thought defensively, this was their best game
Right.
defensively. I thought overall as an offense, they played well. They ran the ball, not great rushing numbers, Ocho, but they ran the ball well enough to keep them
Right.
off balance. Turpin, who's turned himself into the best returner in
Yeah.
football. And they got him out of the world, the USFL, USFL. I think they got him out of the USFL. They got their kicker out of the XFL or the USFL, whatever case may be. And these guys are all pro that's turned into all pro players. But give the Cowboys credit. And guys, see how easy it is? If you play good, we talk about you. We say
Yeah.
good things. But when you play bad, I mean, what other choice do you have? Now, I wonder if somebody's going to go on the IG and say, hey, call me on the phone and talk good about me. I'm just wondering. You think that's going to happen, Ocho?
Would you, if they're gonna call you and tell you talk good about him?
No, just tweet it. No, go on IG posts and stuff like that. You think they're going to say that? Oh, okay. Yeah. CJ Stroud steps out of the back of end zone for a safety as the Titans beat the Texans 32-27. CJ Stroud's performance was a mixed bag. He threw multiple touchdown passes for the first time since October 13th in almost over a month, but he also threw multiple interceptions for the second time in 3 weeks and was sacked 4 times. The Texans allowed Will Levis to go 18 of 23, 273, 2 touchdowns, big long touchdowns. In December, Houston faces the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Ravens, who all offenses can score in bunches. Kyle Fairbarns missed 28-yard field goal attempt in the fourth quarter, marked just the fourth field goal, 29 or fewer yards out of 159 attempts in NFL this season. 2 of those 4 misses are by Fairbarn.
Dang. Yeah.
Ocho, maybe it's just
Talk
me.
to me now.
What's wrong with
I
CJ?
don't know.
He's not
Yeah, you're
playing
not.
good.
I mean, you're gonna have laws now, Unc. You know that, right? You know baseball players.
Ocho, he hadn't played well this year, Ocho. This is not a
Oh,
low.
whoa, whoa.
How many interceptions does he have now, Ash?
What do you got? Right? You got 8, huh? Eight or 7? 9. Okay.
9.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many
I'm off
touchdowns?
by 1.
He, he got 14
Yeah.
touchdowns, Ocho.
Would you consider? Hey, would you consider
Uh,
this? Would you consider
Ocho,
this a sophomore slump?
Ocho. They played 12 games. He has 14 touchdowns.
You heard me? Would you
Hmm?
consider this a sophomore slump as a quarterback?
I don't know. I guess. Look, the thing that's most
Mm-hmm.
impressive that you about great players, Ocho, is that even when they get tape on you, you still have to account for
Mm-hmm.
them. See, I was very fortunate. I played against Reggie White with 3 different teams, with 3 different regimes. I played him against him in 92, and we circled him on the
Right.
board. I played against him in 93, we circled him on the board. I played him in 96, we circled him on the board. I played him against him in the Super Bowl in 97, we circled him on the board. You don't think they have film on
Yeah.
Peyton,
Yeah.
Brady,
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes,
Mm-hmm.
Lamar? And I get it, Nico missed what, 4
Yeah.
weeks
The
with that
hamstring injury.
hamstring injury?
The O line hasn't been playing well. It hasn't been playing well either. CJ Stroud he's been getting hit a lot at quarterback, getting hit a lot.
He just
I think it's also
something's off. Something's
I,
off. I don't know if he's injured, but something is off. He just doesn't look as confident as he
right.
did last year. Now, the one thing that you can't do, you can't talk. Hey, you can talk about it, but you got to go out there and be
Mm-hmm.
about it. There have been a lot of great ones. There's been a lot of guys that's had one great
Mm-hmm.
season, Ocho. Can you put them
Yeah.
together? Can you do it
Yeah.
back to back? Can you do it back to
Yeah.
back to back? Can you do it for 4 years? Can you do it for
Mm-hmm.
5 years? Can you do it for 6 years? How many times you seen guys go have a great season, go to the Pro Bowl, Ocho, be an all pro?
He'll be able to put it back to back. But also, if you look at the Texans in the entirety of the season up to this point and see why he's been throwing the interceptions. His decision making is not as sharp as it was last year with the ball, getting hit upside the head every time he dropped back, being rushed, not being able to go through his progressions, missing a Nico Collins, Diggs being out. There are
Mm-hmm.
factors that are going in why the season is going the way it is so far this year for him, from a statistical standpoint,
I,
why it doesn't look like it did
I think that
why it doesn't look like it did last year with the historic run he had as a rookie. I mean, there have been some things that have happened. So, he
I
hasn't been
think
able to overcome it.
me personally, me personally, Ocho, I think the Diggs is less because he's only been playing with him for 3 months. Nico Collins, that's the guy that he has the relationship with. That's the guy that helped him win Offensive Rookie
Right.
of the Year. That was the Nico Collins was a Pro Bowl player
Hmm.
last year. He's a very talented young receiver. He's tremendous, can play
Yeah.
through contact, can make tough contested catches. He's great run after
Mhm.
the catch. He can get behind the team. Tank Dell is another one that's played that's really good. He only had 3 catches today. And they didn't run the ball particularly well. They only had 17 attempts. But hey, Tennessee